All right, so are you ready to dive into some seriously gripping gaming?
Always up for that.
Perfect, because we're tackling chapters 5 and 6 of Red Dead Redemption 2 today.
Ah, those are where it gets real.
No kidding. The gang's dream goes right off the rails and not in the fun train robbing way.
What's fascinating there is how it mirrors American history, that whole closing of the frontier era.
Not just cowboys and shootouts anymore.
Right, it's way bigger. We're talking about an entire way of life on the way out and how people deal with that.
Heavy stuff.
Hmm.
So, chapter 5, we're in West Elizabeth. Think wide open spaces, mountains, different world.
And the gang's desperate. They want one last score, a train robbery. Think that's their ticket to the American dream.
But even planning it, you can tell. Desperation's there.
Exactly. It's that turning point where the dream crashes into reality, the world's changing, and they're clinging to the old ways.
And then there's John Marston, trying to build a life away from all that. Think he actually breaks free.
That's the question, isn't it? It's like this underlying tension loyalty versus wanting something different.
Makes you think about identity. Like, are we stuck with our past or can we choose who we become?
Exactly. Can we really outrun who we are?
And just when you thought it couldn't get more intense, chapter 6 dumps us in tall trees, dense forests, winter's closing in, bleak.
Totally different vibe, right? Chapter 5 had that ambition. This one's about survival. The gang's falling apart.
The environment mirrors that too. It's like the world itself is closing in.
Yeah, and that just makes Arthur Morgan's story even more powerful. He's smack in the middle of it all, but he's questioning everything.
Searching for redemption in the middle of chaos.
And it's interesting how that reflects the bigger picture. The Wild West is changing, the old ways are dying, and people like Arthur are caught in the middle.
It's wild how they use the environment in the game. Like chapter 5, you have all that wide open space in West Elizabeth. Feels full of possibility.
Right.
Then bam, chapter 6, you're stuck in tall trees. Claustrophobic, grim.
Yeah, the visual storytelling adds so much. Even the colors, from those warm autumn tones to that harsh winter, underscores what's happening to the gang.
And through it all, Arthur's dealing with way more than just staying loyal to Dutch.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like he sees the whole foundation of their gang crumbling. Dutch is clinging to these outdated ideas, getting more unhinged. You practically feel Arthur's disillusionment. Heartbreaking.
And their relationship, it's like a microcosm of the whole thing, right? The world changing, old ways dying out, makes you ask, how do you stay loyal when everything's telling you to adapt?
And it's not just Arthur asking the big questions. Poor John Marston. Talk about being stuck.
Between a rock and a hard place, for sure.
Wants a future with Abigail and Jack, but there's that pull of the gang.
Classic dilemma. Do you stick with what you know, even if it's bad, or risk it all for something uncertain? Makes you think about choices, how they shape us.
Totally. But it can't all be bleak, can it? Even with all the chaos, there's these moments, these glimpses of humanity.
100%.
Arthur and Lenny, those quiet talks they have, or those scenes with the sister Calderon, so powerful.
And John and Abigail, their bond, those little things add so much.
Even in the middle of everything falling apart, they're holding on to that human connection, which makes that ending of chapter 6 hit even harder.
Oh, no spoilers, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Gut punch.
It really makes you feel the weight of every choice they've made, but there's that glimmer of hope, too. Sets up the final act.
You know what stuck with me? Arthur's line, "We all gotta go sometime."
Oh, powerful.
Simple, but man, it just says it all, you know? About the choices they make, facing the music.
It's about more than just them, though, right? It's that reminder about our own mortality, the legacy we leave behind.
It's different in those last chapters.
It's timeless, though. We might not be robbing trains, but we're still making choices that define us.
Makes you wonder, what would you do in Arthur's shoes? Body's failing. He's questioning everything. Dutch is losing it. Stay loyal to the bitter end or find a new path.
That's what's so great about these chapters and the game overall. No easy answers. It's like a complicated world making you look in the mirror.
No kidding. Well, I think it's time for us to mosey on out of here before things get too real.
Sounds like a plan.
But never fear, listeners. We wouldn't leave you high and dry.
Gotta have that final thought right, that provocation.
Exactly. So this time, don't picture yourself as Arthur or John. Imagine you're someone on the sidelines of their world.
Okay, I like this.
Maybe you're a shopkeeper, see their last heist go down, or a rancher who gets caught in the crossfire of their final stand.
Wow.
How does the gang's story, their end, shape your life? What choices do you make as the world changes around you?
Heavy stuff to ponder.
That's the point. Keep those brain cells firing until next time. Until then, happy trails, everyone.
Happy trails.